Hey there, it is March 17th, Friday, 2023. Just figured I'd give little quick updates on what I'm seeing in regular time and in just everyday language. So we just left Regions Bank in Tennessee, and I asked some questions over there to see what they're doing and how they're facing, are they thinking there's any bank runs happening or anything like that? And they actually are. And I've asked about this in the past. I've asked banks in New York, on Long Island. I've asked other banks in Tennessee at other times, and they've always said, no, like they never had any idea that any bank runs would ever happen. Today was the first time that the banks are on high alert. They are recording anyone that comes in to do any type of a large withdrawal. If they actually are using the term bank runs, their management from top management is they're on calls every morning, getting instruction, and they're on calls every afternoon, reporting how many of their customers, clients, depositors are taking money, large amounts of money out of the bank and doing bank runs, basically. So the banking system is very, very unstable right now. I just saw that there are about 200 more banks that look very vulnerable to crater, so to speak. These bank runs will always happen on a Friday, and then we find out on Monday, basically what they did with the bank. I was talking to the manager of that Regions Bank, and she was saying how it looks like banks will be consolidated. So I was asking about that. And she seemed pretty happy about it because she was the manager of the bank, and she seemed like she thought that they would acquire other banks in the area. So we are seeing a consolidation of banks right now, and coinciding with what I was talking about the other day, relating it to being like a patient in shock, where everything from the periphery flows into the central, and money is flowing closer and closer into the central banks before whatever the next step they do is going to happen. But it is now time for silver and gold. And we've been talking about this for years, but we're here now. It's like, it's here. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's here. And next week is going to be pivotal. It's probably one of the most important rate decisions that will ever happen in the history. It's funny, I'll tell Scott, the rate decision is next week. It's a really important one. He'll say, you say that every week. But this one is monumentally important. There's a lot of opinions out there, I'm sure, about whether the feds will raise or whether they will halt, even if they might cut. But I don't think that, I think there's going to be a very big surprise in whatever decision they make with the rate decision. And I'm going to take a stab at it, and I'm going to say they are going to raise again. And with everything crashing in the banking system, the consensus is probably they're definitely not going to raise, because this is happening because of all the bank raises, but they want it to happen. So I'm going to actually say the consensus was that they would raise 50 basis points weeks and weeks ago. Then it was lowered to 25 basis points. Then it was, they're not going to raise, they're just going to pause. I think that they could raise more than 50. I think they want to cause a major contraction, a major shock to the system, and they want to cause a very huge vulnerability and death to the banking system. And that's what would do it. If they raise 50 basis points or higher, the markets are going to take a really bad hit. I'll just say, I'm not going to use the word crash, but everything is unstable right now. And if bank runs continue, and in our bank, there was a few bank runs today. She did say there were a few people that came in and did a bank run. And, and that's in Tennessee. So I can't imagine, are people doing bank runs in more populated areas, in more populated cities? So yeah, that's what's going on. and just in just regular terms. And it's not too late to get some silver like now, because we should be seeing, even if these assets take a hit on the market, on the Forex market, because when markets crash, everything drops because of margin calls and because of leverage. Everything's over leveraged. So when one thing goes down, they have to sell their gold and silver stocks. So that might happen temporarily, but gold and silver are going to go up in multiples. It's time. We've been talking about it a long time, and now we're there. And we do know that, certain cryptos are going into the future, and people are stacking them. People are stacking them. That's where we're going. The timeline is not sure, and I don't think anybody knows the timeline to the T, but we have ideas, and we can only prepare the best that we can. So it is wise to ask for wisdom, for discernment, and to also do the soul and spirit work and preparation that God is showing us to do in his timing and in his way, in all things. So I'll do a little update each day about the financial and what I'm seeing out there. And I guess I will be back tomorrow. I think I'm going to be doing I have a very special interview coming up with a really very special guest who has been in the markets a very long time, worked on the floor of the CME, and very well respected. His analysis has been on CNBC, Fox News, and other channels. So I'm really privileged and honored to be interviewing this man. And he loves the Lord. He's a spiritual father and a financial, I would say, father in the markets. He's a father in the markets, and just a beautiful spirited man. And I have just gleaned from him so much. So I'm hoping to do that video in the coming week. And then I have a few other people that I had asked, and I would love to, have them come on and have a discussion with me as well and talk about some spiritual things. And I'm looking to doing that. So I am in a new job now, so I probably won't be leaving videos like I have. In a turning, I'm in a turning, I'm in a shift, I'm in a change of season, and I've enjoyed being here, and I'll be here when I can. And like I said, I'll try to leave little financial blips each day as I'm able to. God bless.